Okay, are you ready?
I am ready.
I'm gonna sit up straight so I'm not slouching. So, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Caleb Goff. I'm a fifth year psych student here at Queen's.
So my name is Nika Elmi. I'm in first year. I volunteer with the Peer Support Center. I'm their first year intern. I work for the Peer Support Center. I tend to get some very anxious thoughts when I'm in social situations.
My name's Kelsey. I'm in third year film and media. I'm a pretty happy person, but I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder and panic disorder in 2013. And I think that especially since I've been at Queen's, there has been huge strides, towards mental health awareness.
I'm also a member of the Mental Health Warriors Committee for the second year. I'm one of their community outreach coordinators. So what we do with that is run a workshop that we've created based on a bunch of different workshops and trainings that we've done before.
My role is to kind of work with the other intern Peyton to kind of introduce the Peer Support Center to first years and show them what services are available on Queen's and that it's totally accessible and there for them when they need it.
But it's hard, I think, to get in contact with them and just make that first step. And I think that's maybe something Queen's could improve on, with just reaching out to students more rather than expecting the students to come to the state. Like, I know for me, when I was in my peak of my anxiety and I wasn't in a place where I could talk to anybody about it or a place where I was comfortable reaching out, it's a really hard thing to do.
They don't really know how to kind of take care of their own mental health or how to help other people or even access resources appropriately. The majority of post-secondary students who are experiencing a mental health crisis then utilize emergency rooms, which isn't actually the right place for them to be to receive care. And so there's still this systemic problem, and definitely it's present at Queen's as well.
The thing that is really tough is everybody, no matter who you are, no matter what kind of student you are, experiences mental health in their own different way. I think that the more personalized we get and the more stories we hear kind of like this and the more we're able to, share experiences, the more we'll learn.
Not necessarily be like, this is how it is to live with this mental disorder, and for some people might be like, whoa, I want to talk about this is making me too uncomfortable.
Really hearing from somebody that's experienced it and been through it, that's how you break the stigma.
In terms of fighting stigma and trying to make people open to talking about mental health, they are effective, but there's still a lot of areas that need more assistance or more attention. Queen's has and all the initiatives have done a really good job of destigmatizing the word mental health or the phrase mental health, but not actually anything beyond that. Yeah, maybe we do think we're more aware than we actually are because we're aware of the, catchy, trendy phrase mental health, but not what that actually means. With the Peer Support Center, they've been trying to do a lot of events that are how to help a friend with this, how to help a friend with that, and more the other side of things instead of just, stigma exists and it shouldn't. There's this whole Let's Talk movement, which there's a lot of issues with, but I think ultimately it's a good thing that people are talking about it.
It can't just be one day a year. It has to be every day because, the other 364 days, someone's still suffering.
The third kind of thing that's portrayed a lot of the time is that mental illness is scary. And this tends to be particularly people with schizophrenia.
Because fewer people maybe experience that or less people are talking about that, then there's just less conversation about it. What we're doing is educating people about things that we think the majority of the population will feel, so things like anxiety or stress or depression, and that's really important because a lot of people will experience that.
There's this whole group of people who are horribly stigmatized far more than an individual with depression.
Mental health as a whole is something that Queen's is really, really passionate about. I think that there are still some illnesses that we're not really talking about a lot. I don't know how to say this without being politically incorrect or I don't know.
You don't need to be in fear of the person that's going through it because it's not something to be afraid of, it's something to be okay with.
The narrative is kind of constantly, I went through this, whatever it is, and I got better, or I'm able to function now because I no longer have this mental illness.
And that's not the experience for the vast majority of people. Silver Linings Playbook comes to mind, where in that movie, the main character just suddenly goes off his medication, stops going to therapy, and is cured by the power of dance.
I think that's not quite how it works, and so that made me feel really good, because up until that point I kind of been beating myself up for thinking like, why do I still have these thoughts going on?
You know, it took time for me to accept the fact that, you know, I'm living with this, but I didn't want it to hinder my life in any way. And I wish people knew that it doesn't need to hinder lives, and it's okay.